we got more SmugAlana in the building. So somebody decided, hey, let's go ahead and be a male on a dating app and see how this goes. I wonder how it went.
Oh yeah,
Ba, ba, da, da, ba, da, ba, ba, da.
oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get it right. Can you guys hear anything? Jesus, dude.
So one of my guy friends
Day three
gave
of being a
me
boy on a
permission
dating app.
to make a
That's
Hinge
funny.
account for him because
Dude, I turned that up to 600%.
Hinge is pretty big. Hinge is actually a website where you could possibly find something.
Basically nothing. Chat, I don't know. I turned it up 600%. It's still not working.
600% is crazy.
I can hear it, but it's quiet. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet.
What? Alana being quiet?
I'll see.
No way.
so one of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating
Somebody
apps.
said Asman
And he
gave
was
up on
telling
this
me that
video.
it's
Okay, let me
incredibly
hear
difficult. And I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave
it.
me permission to create an account for him and just
You're doing something wrong.
run the account.
I love the
I've been a
attitude.
virtual boy for 3
This
days,
will be great.
and
Yeah, I
I've
can
never felt
tell.
this bad about myself.
Yeah, I
I
can
feel like
tell.
a freaking loser trying to get these
Yeah.
girls to like me,
Mm,
and I'm starting to hate women
huh.
because
Well,
I'm like,
damn.
when I say I mean Pete, because that's the account I'm using. Pete's about a 6. But I'm
Okay.
so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they
Oh,
won't like me
yikes.
back. Pete,
Yikes.
which is
Yikes. Don't do that. Don't do that.
6.
Mm.
So what level of delusion has entered women's
Oh,
heads?
a lot of it. There's a lot of delusion.
Like, what is going on?
There's
It
a
is
lot
so
of it. No,
difficult
there's a
dating as a
lot of it.
boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
Yeah, honestly, I get that 100%, man. Like I personally even uninstalled my dating apps. Like at this point, we will find it by just going out and trying to exist in a world where eventually whatever it is you're looking for, you'll get it whenever the time comes. Because trying to go out and look for it in dating apps and stuff like that, it ain't cutting it out. It's time to start going back outside. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. Yeah, no, no, no. It's time to start going back outside legitimately. Start making new friends and then becoming friends of friends and the old school way of how people used to find partners. Like honestly, that's the try and true way because apps worked for a minute because it was relatively new, right? My neighbor's 60 years old. They've been married for 40 years and they met through a dating website. But back in the day, they didn't have like just swipe, swipe, swipe. They had to email each other to get to know each other. And then they eventually met. So the definitely since the availability has opened up so easy. Like all you have to do is download an app and then boom, you can start. You're technically in the dating pool, right? Just swiping around. But since so many people can do it, it's way harder to stand out. On top of if you're not doing anything to stand out, you're not going to. If you actually get a match and the first message you send is hi or how are you, expect to get unmatched, expect to get ignored, expect to get curved. And even if you go the extra mile and try and engage with their profile, if they only swiped you for like a specific reason, like so me specifically, because I work out and stuff like that, when I get matches, it's usually like somebody fetishizing a black man and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to have sex with this guy." But for me, I'm not interested. So obviously, like if I'm engaging you on your profile and then you're just the rebuttal you have to say to me is like, oh, how long you been here? Oh, oh, where do you stay? Like obviously you're trying to meet me as soon as possible to do whatever it is you're trying to do. And I'm not with that, right? I'm a slow burn type of guy. And if anything, I think more people need to be more slow burn in general, male, female, it doesn't matter. The slower you go with it, the easier it is to try and figure out, do you guys have something actually compatible? Or if it's just a hookup, I mean, just put it just literally put it in your bio. Hey, FWB, right? There's several people that are down for that. So it definitely depends. But on top of that, just know what you're looking for in these dating apps, and it makes it a little bit easier. But overall, dating apps probably just aren't the wave anymore. You might need to just go back and try the old school way, friend of friends. But let's continue.
No way! No fucking way, dude. No, shut up. She actually tried and she felt bad, and I hate women now. That
3
is
days is
so
wild,
fucking
though.
funny.
3 days.
Oh my god. So what happened?
3 days is a
She
bit of effort. A
said
bit.
that she tried to make a fake boy account to help her friend or something. She made a dating account.
Yeah. She essentially thought it was going to be easier for her to try and get girls than him, because what she said in the video was like, "Oh, you must be doing something wrong." It's like, no, it's not nothing. It's not anything that your homeboy might be doing, and it might be, but at the same time, it's just so much delusion going on in the dating pool, in the dating market, especially online, that it doesn't matter what your intentions are. If somebody else is so deluded that they're not going to actually make an effort, surprised when nothing comes to fruition.
Get a woman. She couldn't do it. Fastest way to misogyny is to be a man, apparently. Yep. And then you get shamed for being like, well, maybe it's not so great, huh? She asked the boyfriend to make a dating account of him. Yeah.
Bro, it's definitely great being a man. 100%. There's just a lot of bad stuff that comes along with it, but that it just is what it is, man.
Sounds like skill issue. I don't think it's skill issue, man. I think that men have it so much harder. Women have horrible game. Okay, hear me out. Even if you have horrible game, what if you're a guy that has horrible game?
If you're a guy that has horrible game, you're not going to get any girls. If you're a girl with horrible game, you can still get guys.
And you have to deal with this shit. How do you get better if you don't get any game?
And you can get better by learning from other men. Other men can teach you game. Like, legitimately, that's how it works anyways. Like, if you want to learn how to be a man, you go to other men. You could try figure it out for yourself. You definitely could actually do that. But it's easier if you also have somebody that's also been a man longer than you. So if you're 18 and you think you know what it is to be a man, say that to a man that's 60 years old and see what he has to say to you. And then you should actually listen because he's 60 and you're 18. And then you'll see what happens with your life.
Going from one side against hundreds of matches in a week, also with no effort whatsoever, if you're like mildly attractive. Depending on how attractive they are, to a 6-man who gets like maybe 1 match a week. Yeah. Don't ever use dating apps as a male. What if there's no other option?
There's always other options.
No,
Dating apps didn't exist forever.
As I was saying, I am not surprised in the slightest. Even men with game don't get matched often. No, seriously.
That's true.
I know, like, haha, terminally online, you never do it. Try it yourself, Alana, you'll understand better. I don't need to understand better. I already understand because of secondhand accounts that have been told to me. I don't need to be in your shoes to understand you better. I know because I listen.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to something like this, like, you're asking her to like go and create a guy account to try and understand what it's like to be a guy versus hearing it from a guy's perspective in general. I mean, like, yeah, I agree with her with this point. Like, usually when it comes to like putting yourself in someone else's shoes, it definitely holds weight. But when it comes to something like this, like trying to live a different gender than what you've grown up with, right? To try and do a social experiment or just like a societal experiment at this point. It's not even social. This is a society experiment to see, can you match with the opposite gender even though you are the same gender? And if it turns out that you cannot, well, definitely, hey, there's something that we got to look at here that's deeper than just a societal standpoint. Or social standpoint, sorry.
If you do match, there's a good chance they want to follow their Instagram. Yeah, the bots. There's a million.
Yeah, there's a lot of women on there. You can tell. Look at their profile. The only thing, they got a couple photos and then they got IG at whatever the hell. and then you go to their ad and there's thousands of followers. Like that's what it's there for. It's there for them to gain more social validation because social validation is how they find a more suitable male. If that male actually gave a fuck about how many people followed her. Some people do, but the up and up, that stuff doesn't matter.
Bots, there's fake women on every corner of these dating
There
apps, and if
is,
you
there
do
is.
match, it's usually either a catfish or an OF profile.
Or somebody that just wants clout. Or somebody that's
Oh, that makes the guy dating profile for
lonely.
the lulz. I don't know.
They're
I
lonely,
feel
but they're
like
not
I'd be kind
available.
of sad. If I did that kind of thing, I'd be like, ooh.
A dating profile for the
I don't know if I
lulz?
want to
That doesn't even sound like for the lulz. How was that? How was that? How was that the lulz? That sounds like copium.
do this anymore. I already get sad when like I go outside, man.
Or
That
have her
internet
do it
theory
for the
was just
lulz. Yeah,
catfishing.
if she did it for the lulz, sure. She's a content creator.
I feel like that internet theory is kind of for schizos. Not gonna lie.
That internet theory is very interesting in the fact that even if it might not be real now, it definitely could become real later on, especially the more that bot accounts are being made. Like there is so many bot accounts online just in general, right? And a lot of people are segregated and funneled through algorithm that it makes sense that only so much of the internet is actually full of people that have the ability to express themselves and communicate whatever it is that their being and their ideals are versus an NPC. Like there's several NPCs that just exist, sure. So that internet theory, it's I don't know if it's for schizos, but maybe they're ahead of the time, if anything. I think that would be the best way to phrase it. Maybe they're ahead of the time. Maybe not right now, maybe in the future. Who knows?
Aren't you sad now? Why would I be sad? I'm streaming and I'm talking to you guys.
I don't sound convinced.
Dating apps or sex apps anyway?
It
Not
can be.
necessarily. I mean, like
It
a lot of it
can
is,
be,
yeah, because it's
but
very
it's not
shallow.
what the app was made for, but it can be. But you can get sex for anything. Like, bro, you can pay for it.
Alana, you need to help us get women. I can't do that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If you're trying to get women from her, I don't know, buddy. Like Alana is definitely cool as a content creator. I don't know her personally, but if I ever get to meet you and we have a conversation, then I can build off of that. But really, like the type of feminine energy that I get from watching these videos and these clips and whatnot, it's definitely something that only a specific type of guy could deal with. I don't think just any guy in the chat could ever legitimately be with a woman like this. And I'm not talking about you guys are together for 6 months or 4 years. I'm talking about legitimately being with a woman like this. It's not easy. It definitely is going to take a lot of communication. And she's definitely headstrong, and she has to be because she's a content creator. She has literally hundreds, if not thousands of people. Well, she does have thousands of people, right? Tuning in and consuming her ideas and her ideals, but that doesn't necessarily mean you guys will be compatible romantically just because you agree with what she has to say on the internet. Remember that.
I love women, but they make me want to kill myself.
Yikes. Yikes. Yikes, buddy. Yikes, buddy. Hey, at that point, it might be time to switch to femboys. It might be time to switch, homie.
I mean,
You don't
honestly,
need the game over
I
for
have
that.
talked to like normie women, and I find it extremely hard to like be relatable. I don't know how men have like
Yes.
charisma. Like, let's just say like
Yes.
masking. You know how if you
Yes.
mask,
Yes.
um,
You'd have to, man. It
around normal
sucks.
people, how you have to pretend to have like normal hobbies instead of trying to explain that you're like into VTubers or whatever. I don't know how people do that. I don't know.
Well, when I was thinking about masking, like when you talk to a normie versus how you talk online, it's not going to be the same. Like the people outside that are extroverted, right? I consider myself someone that is also extroverted. I just came back from a party literally today. Um, I had to explain to them what you guys are online, and they couldn't fathom it. The same way I try and explain it to you guys, A lot of you cannot fathom it, right? Because it's legitimately two different worlds, being chronically online and chronically outside. And there's definitely a middle ground where everybody meets, right? These social hubs like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever is out there. I wouldn't even consider TikTok because TikTok is so online that I don't even, I don't know. You can let me know in the comments below what you think. But overall, just trying to compare the lifestyle is very tough. And the only way you can really get it is if you purposefully go out and consume both. So I consume vast amount of online content, and I also go outside and express my ideas and my ideals to other people face to face, whether they agree or not or whatever. At the end of the day, it's still interesting and difficult conversations that cannot be really had online, because as soon as you say the wrong thing to somebody online, they just hit the block button, right? There's no block button whenever you're talking face to face. So that's when you actually have to develop yourself and develop your character. But when everybody's online, like the normies, the way that they're online, they use the block button and everything like chronically online people. But in real life, they have temper tantrums. Legitimately, they have temper tantrums, and you can't just be having temper tantrums out in society. They just Society will crumble if we started letting people do that. And some people do that, but we definitely need to try and integrate the livelihood of both the outside and the online. That would be like the best way for people to try and come together and try and understand each other, because definitely I've had these conversations with people where it just goes over their head what I'm saying, because they don't understand it because they can't understand it. And if they can't understand it, I can't really be mad at them. But what I am mad at is the people that choose not to understand it, or they choose not to open up their mind to different opinions, because there are different opinions everywhere. But online, different opinions are funneled into algorithm. So like, yes, you'll get an echo chamber of this versus going outside, and you'll legitimately sit at a table with five different men. And these five different men, of course, have their own walks of life and their own philosophy. And there's some things that we can agree on and some things that we can't, but at the end of the day, we're still going to have a good time. We're still going to enjoy it. Online, you can't really have that because, again, the block button. As soon as you say something that doesn't align with somebody else, they either hit block or they hit the dislike. But it is what it is, right? These things need to be said and these conversations need to be had. And I think more people need to step up and have these conversations, which is exactly what I'm doing. It's why I enjoy watching the SmugAlana. She always makes me end up talking about deeper societal issues. And it's a nice conversation to have. 100%, and it's very important. So thank you guys for the Discord for sending this. And it's funny, like people in the comments, like, "Oh, I didn't expect you to react to her." Well, I'm only doing it because it was requested in the Discord. Right? If you guys requested, I check it out and I just give my thoughts and opinions on it. But that's how you actually change the narrative and the perspective and the conversations on anything. So today we're talking about women pretending to be men online, right? A couple of days ago we were talking about lesbian divorce rates being high. And then, yesterday I was talking about manga, right? These algorithms, I am putting myself in these different spaces to have these conversations. So, you, the viewer, if you are enjoying everything you're hearing and you're listening to, hit the like button. But more importantly, subscribe, because we're going to be having these types of dialogues in other communities. And it's important that you also express yourself in the comments below. So, when somebody new comes across the channel, they know what they're getting themselves into. It's an open discussion, and we don't have to agree on everything. That's totally fine. It's just the point of having the discussion. That's the way we can actually make some type of positive change. You can definitely make a negative change too, but I'm mostly gearing towards the positive. Like, there's negativity every day. What do I need to hear more negativity for? It's not for me, and I don't want it for my community either. So definitely leave your comments below if you think you have some interesting perspective you want to share. Hey, let it be known and share it with us. That's the only way for people to actually grow. The more that people are able to talk about things, the more people can actually grow from things, which will make it easier for society when it comes to talking to normies or talking to people chronically online. There's going to be a easier middle ground for people to avenue whatever conversation or situation that arises in life. Man, I'm out here preaching, bro. Let's go.
I always like lie and say like, oh, I love to draw in my spare time.
And like, yeah, cool. Definitely share that hobby. You like drawing, cool. But if they don't like drawing, what else y'all got to talk about?
I'm in garden. Yeah.
If they
Which
don't
I
like it,
do.
what
I
do
do
y'all have
like
to
to
talk
draw
about?
and garden, but I just
Yeah,
don't have
that's
time.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's just gonna you're not
It's
gonna have anything to talk
tough.
about. It is tough. It 100%
You
is.
actually like to draw, yes. I say video games? No, because then normies are like, video games?
That's because video games take your life away, bro. You gotta suck into a whole different world to play a video game. Like that's the point of the video game, right? You jump into that world because it's more interesting and it's amazing, right? Video games are awesome. But there's a lot of people that don't like video games because outside is awesome too. Adventures outside is very awesome. But of course, different perspectives on everything. So yeah, maybe don't talk about video games or maybe bring up video games or bring up your hobbies and the things that you actually enjoy. But if they don't like it, well, then you got to find something else to talk about. And if y'all don't have anything in common, what are y'all talking about? Like if you're actually trying to date somebody and you guys don't have the same type of stuff, well, then keep it pushing. Unless you're just trying to smash. If you're trying to
I
smash,
was
like
on
you don't need to
7 and I
relate.
think I'm like
Just
pretty
call them beautiful and give them some food, and then they'll there it is.
good at talking to people when I'm not high as fuck. I'm pretty good at talking to people when I'm not high out of my fucking mind. Like, yeah, me too, man.
Shit, when I
Except
get
that
high, I
you
have
high
great
as fuck is
conversations.
probably me normally. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I gave up on dating sites a while ago, and there were women accounts that were just bots. I was insane. There are thousands of accounts that women didn't even close, even though they aren't active anymore. Trying to get meshes is terrible.
Damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie. It sounds like the website you're on sucks.
Oh, that shit fucking sucks.
But no, legitimately, like when it comes to online dating, I mean, it is pay to win. Um, that being said, you can raise your status so high that you won't have to pay to win. So even though it is pay to win, you don't have to participate and you can still get a prize.
Dead accounts like that? Men are bullied for having less than masculine hobbies, and women are praised most of the time. I don't know, man. I disagree. If I say I'm into video games, like, other women who are, like, older than me, like, look at me or like,
Yeah,
oh my god, what if,
yeah.
like, they don't
You're not gonna find a husband doing that, but it's crazy because you can find a husband doing that.
say it, but, like, they do go, like,
Yeah, women, yeah,
oh, that's
they
so
play different
cool.
rules.
Wow, you like video
Yeah.
games?
Yeah, they fake it. They bullshit, bro. Women and men, we play two different games. Men, it's like trying to one up each other. Women, it's trying to say, "Hey, you're doing great," but behind the scenes, you're trying to lower them, right? One upping versus lowering. It's crazy, man. Men and women, two different games. Two
I'm
different
just
games.
like, okay, bitch.
Yeah. That's some real shit. Hey, she's smug for a reason.
Yeah, they give you the look of like,
Hmm.
games, what a waste of gun. What's a waste of time? Are you asking women on dates? No, man.
You asking women on
I'm talking
dates?
about like everyday conversations with normal people, which would imply like people on dating apps, if anything. I do have normal interests. It's just like I don't really have time for them right now.
Oh man, that sucks. I hope you
My
get time
number
for
one
yourself.
interest is talking to you guys.
Oh wow. You know, that's big to be dedicated to your subscriber base and your fan base. But remember to be dedicated to yourself, dude. At the end of the day, whenever you log off or you stop uploading, whatever, like sure, these people will still exist, but you exist too, and you will always exist at every point in time for yourself. You're only a blip in people's existence as long as you're uploading or making streams or whatever. But at the end of the day, SmugAlana, you're gonna go to bed and wake up and only see SmugAlana. Remember that.
Video games are one of those third date things you bring up. Yeah, maybe. Maybe if you're lucky, chat. Men definitely have to fucking. They have to work so much harder, or they have to have a lot of money.
Yeah, man. Definitely have a lot of money will help you, like in everything. So get your money up.
And even then, you get used. That's sad. Why is it fucking sad? My career being first is sad? What the
And I knew somebody was going to be in the comment section and say that, right? It's definitely not sad for you to put your community first. I would say that as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's good. But yeah, at the end of the day, you should prioritize yourself. But if you don't, it is what it is. I mean, it's totally fine. I mean, if you live the life that you want to live, other people are going to look at it and want to change it in general, whatever your life is. And I'm talking to the viewer as well. If you're a fry cook or if you're a CEO, there are going to be people that look at you and say, "What are you doing with your life?" And it's up to you to realize whatever it is that you enjoy doing, that's the route you should pick, not whatever the other guy is saying, because that's their life. They don't know you, right? I don't know SmugAlana. I would still say, hey, she should definitely prioritize herself first. But I would never sit here and say, oh, you're gonna pick your community over yourself. Oh, like no, that's self-righteous. No, only she knows her life. We're all just outsiders in this person's life.
fuck up? Like, fuck you.
Stand up for yourself, queen.
No shit. You guys are my first. You are the reason I am here. No way. No way. Really? What? Mm-mm. I saw a button episode where those two shared a lot in common, but the woman rejected because she wanted to see her other options. Yes, we watched it together,
so
chat.
Superficial.
Should be thinking of having children and reproducing. You are a woman. All right, mom.
So superficial.
I didn't realize one of my mods is a mom, or is my mom specifically. Your focus is on popping out babies and getting men.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd love to have a conversation with her about like what do you think the ideal perspective for women to be? You know, of course it's a loaded question and it could have any answer. I'm just interested to hear her answer. Not your answer, her answer.
We're all a mother. Cat. As a man, I work hard to buy a house. Oh, so you're never gonna buy a house at this rate.
I mean, maybe not in the States, but out here in Thailand, bro, I just saw a 4-bedroom for 40K. 4-bedroom for 40K, and it can be yours with a private security, private garden, gardener comes. Yeah, I mean, you definitely can get it. You probably just can't get it in the States.
Culture did not settle down, just perma hook up has led to this. Girls that are 2s all the way up to 10s just hooking up with dudes that are 8+s. If no one settles down and those men aren't taking off the market and the women don't want to settle down, you just end up with a revolving door that is dating apps essaying. Yeah.
And you know, I understand this perspective. Definitely, especially if people aren't looking for something serious. Like if you're not looking for something serious or you're not looking for something serious with this specific person and you think you're going to find it somewhere else, well then yeah, that is going to have a revolving door effect and people are just going to be going around in circles and circles and circles. But you know, eventually, hopefully, you can find somebody that matches your certain ideals or whatever it is. Whether you're looking for a girlfriend because you want her to be hot, or you want her to cook and clean, or you want her to help develop your future, it's always going to be up to you to figure that out.
Well, it's like that theory, you know, like where they had the graph, or not the graph, but like the lines connecting to all the women, and then they will never pick someone that's like below like a certain amount, whereas men will pick everyone, but then the men at the top don't have to pick people that are below them. Yeah, the whole math chart. It's exactly that.
Shout out the whole math, and it's real.
Absolutely yeah, you're not human. If you're below a 6, you're not a human. If you're below a 7, if you're below a 7 and you only make 100,000, then like you're not human. I've heard
There's
women say
crazy
that. If
Delulu.
you make
Yeah,
under
there's
a
crazy
hundred
Delulu.
grand, which is insane to me, by the way.
And let those women age, because as soon as they get older, they're gonna realize, hey, maybe what I was saying at 20 years old was some BS, and then they'll try and double back. But hey, stay strong, King. As long as you take care of yourself and you take care of your wealth, they will always come after you. Remember that.
And if you're like only a 6, you're like not human. Yep. Yeah, or if you're below a certain height and even if you make a lot of money,
Yeah.
you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I could be with a short.
But remember, those are all the superficial women. There's a lot of superficial women, but there are some absolutely amazing women out here, legitimately. They are also just searching for something specific. So if you can meet that criteria and they meet the criteria for you, you could definitely make it happen. 100%. Again, as a man, you just need to work on yourself. That's like the only thing that really matters, to be honest. As a man, man to man, right? Working on yourself, you'll get somewhere. A woman, they play a different ball game, and honestly, you could try and learn it if you want to, but it's beneficial to just focus and realize as long as you're doing good for yourself, eventually they come. Like I literally had a lady try and call me like, oh, she said I'm hot. Like, yeah, I know. People are saying it all the time, and I already knew this. I knew this before I even started working out. I was like, yeah, I just needed to prove it to them for them to realize it. But at the end of the day, I always knew it was inside me. And you got to find that for yourself. And if you can't find it for yourself, I mean, you could always learn. And if you don't learn or you don't want to learn, tough titty. Like legitimately, the world will chew you up and spit you out and nobody will care. It's up to you to care about yourself and care about your environment if you want change to happen.
Guy. 2s and 3s will only try for 6s. Yep.
This
You
was a
can
cool
take your
video.
shot and be like, oh, well, you know,
This is a
you can
cool
try.
video. Shout out to Alana's clipper and editor and YouTube side. You know, it's not easy to stream and do like the YouTube stuff, especially if you're trying to mix it and match it like Smug is doing and Asmon and all them. You know, I definitely respect the hustle a lot. Um, that being said, it definitely is good. It takes a lot of personal time out of your life to do stuff like this, right? So for her to say like, yeah, she's dedicated to her streaming her chat, like obviously, look at what she's doing. Look at, but I mean, it's showing growth. Like she has online growth. The thing is, it's gonna come with like a compromise when it comes to you like her like she said earlier, she can't draw. She has no time to draw because she's focusing on the online, right? It's pros and cons to every single decision that you make, right? But if you enjoy drawing, I would say, hey, sacrifice something so you can draw more, right? It's not like you can't ever do one thing. It's always like a balance and a middle ground everywhere for everything. You just need to figure it out as you go. And this advice is open for everybody. It's legitimately just good advice everybody can take. Don't really necessarily worry about one thing. You can do multiple things. Of course, it's good to focus, but you can do multiple things. You just got to find the priority and find the time. And then most importantly, find that balance. Once you find the balance, shit, you can do whatever you want. Anyways, it's your boy KhunShawn. This is a great video. Shout out to the Discord because that's where this came from, man. This is a great video. Thank you guys for watching it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.